On today's clip, we're going to be looking at paravanes and how to fish them. For today's video, these are the preferred ones I like to use for what I do. So they're Fish Seeker by Davis, come in a range of colours, so they come in a clear, which I prefer to use, then a pink and a green. The pinks I found that work okay as well. I've never really used the green ones. So this chart that's here, we'll have a bit of a closer look at that in a minute. It comes from the back of the packet and has a bit of a matrix about how to rig it up and fish it and to what depths. So there's letters and numbers that correspond to different depths. For today's video, we're going to be rigging up a Tassie Devil, running it down to a bead and then a Swash hook, and I'm using Black Magic 8 pound leader today. Now, one thing I do like to do, this is what the paravane looks like. You can see a range of holes running from there up to here, and then they run from the back down the side down to there. And where you tie on corresponds with different depths that you're going to get. So to run to the front of here, one thing I do like to do is run heavier line, just in case I foul it up or snag. It means I'm going to lose the Tassie Devil possibly, and means that I can retrieve my paravane and hopefully be able to fish on from there. So to rig it up, stock standard knots using uni knots. So on this rod here, I'm running 20 pound line, so 20 pound braid down to a fluorocarbon leader, which is the same 20 pound as well. And I'm going to tie it onto the front. Now, if I look at the chart, it's on the front, it has letters. And say, for example, if I want to get down to 25 feet, so I can find where the 25 foot line is, and it says to tie to B4. So I look at the corresponding letters. So we've got A, first toe point, B is the second toe point. All I do, thread it through, standard uni knot. So I go around. I like to go around about 7 times or so. And then thread through, and then I go back through. And then we tie off like so. And then I'd cut that leader off. So that's now tied on. This is how the paravane will tow through the water, and then corresponding, I'll run the leader off the back to the Tassie Devil. So to do that, I've said I want to go to B4, so I'm going to find 4. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's the second last hole on the back of the line. Lengthwise, I think it makes sense to run a decent length of leader, just in case you want to tie on something new. Maybe if you've got the fish that are a little bit shy as well. So I run that all the way down about 1 meter's length. All right, we'll cut forward to that and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. You can see here I've tied on 20 pound leader to corresponding B. Then I've tied on here to corresponding number 4 at the back with a lighter line, so I'm using 8 pound fluorocarbon, and then running about 1 meter or so, and I've run down to my Tassie Devil, and you can see here with my bead and hook set up, I'm ready to go. So the way this works is run out the back of the boat like you'd normally trawl, let out the appropriate amount of line, so it has a corresponding amount of line. If I look on the chart here, it says I've got to run out about 100 foot of line or so, okay? So for people in meters, we're looking at about 30 meters or so. So depending on where you're fishing and what the fish are like, this will trawl along and it will tow down to whatever depth. And when a fish pulls on it, it actually turns upside down in the water and will rise to the surface. So I like these. Look, they're one way to get multiple lines out because you're running some on the surface, running some down deep. They run with a whole range of lures. I use Rapalas quite regularly with them. It says on the packet that not to use like deep divers, but I find those sort of shallow running divers are not too bad. You could use these with all sorts of things. I've used them on tailor and stuff like that in the past, and works quite well. I find if you're running them down deep, you do snag up more because you're just down where the structure is, but in turn you also get more fish because fish like structure. So I'm going to talk through the grid in a second and show you a little bit more about that. This is it here. So if we correspond, I'll hold this up. There's the grid there. So if you, for example, want to fish 15 foot, go down to that and it corresponds with B2. So we tie the line on B, tie the line on 2, and it should go down. If we want to go all the way down to its maximum depth, which is 80 feet, we go all the way down to F, last one on the top, and then 5, which is the last hole to tie off. And it should run us down to approximately 80 foot. I've never done it that deep. That's starting to get pretty deep for where I fish and so on. But my general rule is I run probably 25 or maybe even 15 down to 35 is about all I do. I'm lucky though, I have a downrigger on my boat, and if I want to go deeper, I do use my downrigger. But a nice cheap way to get out of it. I think these things are about $15 to $20, and it doesn't hurt as much if you do lose them to the depths, I guess. So I hope you enjoyed the video. You will see me using these out in the water, and I will refer to them at some stage. I was hopefully going to be on the water today, but didn't get out there just because the wind was blowing a gale, and thought it'd be better to stay at home by the fire and actually make some other videos. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe. We are doing a bit of campaign at the moment, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and like the video, and check out some of my other videos. I'm doing all different sorts of tutorials, as well as getting out in the water and actually catching fish with the gear that I'm talking about. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time.